Hello and welcome back to Shattered Relics League episode 6. We're going to kick off this episode by unlocking the next skill that I want, and of course that's going to be hit points. Believe it or not, I do like staying alive, and hit points is just one of those skills that you have to train up sooner rather than later to avoid dying. So here we go. Let's unlock HP and do one of the most important quests that you need to do right away, and that's of course Witch's House. Witch's House with the massive 8 times multiplied experience multiplier puts us up to a point where we can realistically stay alive throughout most of the rest of the early game here. So definitely a must do, though I am glad I waited a little bit as I heard there were long lines here in the beginning. From here I actually wanted to get started on the farming grind in the background, and I'm taking a different approach to farming this time around. I know that experience is multiplied based on the number of resources you actually get while farming, and there's a fragment that actually lets you get double resources. So I'm going to be focusing primarily on allotment and herb and flower patches this time around for my farming experience, because trees aren't multiplied by the certified farmer anyway. So to kick it off, I'm going to do an hour of master farmer thieving here using my leveled up thieving relics, and we'll see how many seeds we can get. And yeah, about an hour later, we got a good number of seeds and all the way up to 75 thieving from this, as well as a lot of experience on the thieving relics. This was definitely a worthwhile detour, I think. I'll be able to use these seeds to begin my farming grind in the background. Another thing I'm also doing in the background is growing cats. I don't think I'm going to grow very many, probably just like a handful. I don't think the death runes will be super useful, especially when I get the 90% rune savings relic, but I do think it's worth turning in a couple right now in the early game. By the way, I have been putting off using the WikiSync plugin because I hate changing my process, but definitely don't be like me. Use this thing, it's so powerful. As you can see, I can sync my progress directly to the wiki, and you don't even need to log out for it, and it makes browsing the tasks so much easier in order to actually get them done quickly and not have to look through the antiquated UI that Jagex provided. So with the help of the wiki, I'm definitely going to go ahead and jump in and just start getting a bunch of tasks knocked out. It's time to start working towards that tier 5 as fast as possible. And I immediately hit one of my first roadblocks in this area. There's a task to complete the Barbarian Agility course, but as you know, you need to complete the bar crawl in order to get there. The bar crawl is not particularly interesting, doesn't really give you any rewards, and takes a long time, so I actually just want to skip it. In order to skip it, I do need to buy the Fragment 1 pack, which means I'm skipping a bunch of other quests that might be useful to get done, such as Fragment Trials, unfortunately. But I honestly think it's worth it because skipping quests just saves so much time. I've really undervalued skipping quests up to this point in the league, and I don't want to make that mistake anymore. So, time to just skip it, get it done, and keep going with this task rush. Part of this task rush did take me to the wilderness, and there's actually a lot of tasks you can do out here. But the problem is that you can't necessarily complete them all right now because of the crowds. For example, I really wanted to try to kill the deranged archaeologist, but unfortunately the crowds were just massive. Every single world was full, and I wasn't able to find a single empty world to try to get the single kill for the task. So this is an example of a task I'll have to come back to at some point, which is definitely really frustrating because it's one I could do easily now, but such is the nature of an MMO, I suppose. Oh no. Oh no. I am a sad boy. Oh well. People are so mean-spirited today. By the way, you don't lose anything for this, so there's really no reason to eat or anything. I can just come back and get my stuff anytime I want. Wow, did I really get Gap? No, I didn't. Did you realize cosplaying Swampletics was a task? Pretty cool. Along the way, I did unlock 2 fragments, the Dine and Dash fragment and also the Alchemaniac fragment. Dine and Dash is pretty nifty because extra food is always useful, though I don't think I'll ever really be running out of food in this league because of Greedy Gatherer. But Alchemaniac, however, is going to definitely be in like my top 5 most useful relics. I'm so excited to just straight up get extra cash for High Alching. It's going to be incredibly useful down the road. So after completing some of those tasks, I did quickly hit another roadblock, and this time it was for the Farming Guild, believe it or not. And similar to Fragment 1, I'm just going to pay to skip the entire set of Corn quests. Not only does this skip the actual quests, it also skips all of the favor grinds, which in my opinion is immensely worth it. I basically wasted like 2 hours doing the Hosidius grind for favor. It's just not worth it at all, just buy the actual pack. You get a lot of renown back when you buy this thing too, because so many of the quests in Core End are tasks. So I've got some fishing tasks to do, and because I do have the chef's catch, I'm just going to go ahead and grab cooking now. Honestly, this is something I've wanted for a little while, as my food situation is absolutely deplorable. And because it lets you cook the fish regardless of cooking requirement, it's going to give me a lot of cooking levels fast. So let's go ahead and do some cooking and fishing and tasking and yes. So immediately following this, I actually needed an AFK session, and you know what that means? Back to fishing. And we got an absolutely stacked inventory. Look at this thing. I got so many relics and so many rune items. It's absolutely glorious. I really like how skilling has been buffed as part of this league. You get a lot of progress just from doing like AFK skilling activities, which aligns a lot more with my playstyle and also my ability to play, because I need to take a lot of AFK time to make progress. But of course we aren't going to go anywhere without popping all of these relics, and oh boy is that satisfying. Unfortunately, because I'm only training fishing, I got no new relics as part of this, but I did get a lot of experience in existing ones, so super happy to have. And shortly thereafter, I landed my first level 80, the first hard task on the account. Super happy for that one too. So then back at the farming guild, I actually complete my first farming contract. I'm going to be doing as many farming contracts as I possibly can, because they're going to be the best source of rare seeds for a lot of the higher end farming tasks. There's a lot of really specific seeds you need, like you need 2 papaya seeds, you need a redwood seed, you need a magic seed, that kind of stuff. And this is probably the best source I have for it, other than birdhouses. Now, I'm not going to go out of my way to avoid getting bottlenecked on farming tasks. If it turns out that I wind up just needing to wait till I get a seed somehow else in order to continue, I'll just let it be. I won't be able to complete very many farming tasks due to the limited nature of the game mode anyway, but as many as I can complete, the more seeds I'll get, the more beneficial it'll be. So this will be a focus in the background for sure. And the cool thing is, part of that actually got seedy business, which is amazing because it actually saves seeds when you plant them, not only in patches, but also into plant pots, which I'm really excited for, so I can potentially stretch my tree seeds a little bit further. And now I think it's finally time we unlock our next skill, and this is actually going to be attack. I didn't think I'd get another combat skill so soon, but really there are so many tasks locked behind attack that I don't want to hold off anymore. In addition to that, as you know, I can do a bunch of quests to get that experience. Hey, look, it's my friend Dr. Jekyll, who I've been waiting for a long time, and I dismissed him by accident. Damn it, it's a task to drink a strength potion. So very quickly I went and knocked out Fight Arena, Tree Gnome Village, and Tree Gnome Stronghold, putting us just over 60 attack, which is perfect because that'll allow me to complete a series of tasks in order to work towards that tier 5 even faster. Can come spec this poor goblin out right here and get another 25 points. And on the way, I actually got the Venomaster relic, which is super nice. It's not immensely powerful on its own, it just kind of does some poison for you, but as part of set effects, it's going to be amazing. After that, I used my newly completed Corin favor to actually go over to the Woodcutting Guild, purchase a rune axe, and use it to chop some logs, complete another task there. The Woodcutting Guild is actually going to be really nice for me, as it's a really good AFK option for me if I need to, because I'll need some more logs for construction and probably fletching as well. And then I wanted to get my cooking up, because obviously there's a lot of cooking tasks as well, and in the background I had been growing a lot of sweet corn. And sweet corn's actually not very good for food. It heals like 10% of your total HP. But the nice thing about sweet corn is it gives a ton of cooking experience. So coupled with the alchemist fragment, I was getting massive amounts of cooking experience here, though I didn't have that much sweet corn, so I didn't really end that high of cooking, but it was still really nice. By the way, be careful if you're planning on unlocking the desert. I realized that waterfall quest is actually part of this pack, so that's something I definitely want to complete later on my own. But the rest of these I don't really care about. But after I do waterfall quest, I will unlock this after I get tier 5. From this point on, it was basically just an all-out task barrage. Czar? More like dead, right? Though? Okay. Have you forgotten to pick your pineapple today? I definitely forgot to pick my pineapple today. Now I've picked my pineapple and I'm much happier. I was so close to tier 5 that I just wanted to get as many tests on as possible back to back so that I could get that tier 5 and then finally move on to some more interesting things. So what you're seeing is probably some sort of montage of a lot of tasks happening in the background. And you're probably thinking, wow, it was so fast to get all this progress. How was this so fast? This was literally from like a 3-hour stream and it took a while. So, but at least it's done now. Hey look, I'm doing that thing with the thing and the things, and I'm gonna cast the thing on the thing, and it will give me the thing, which is a thing that gives me 50 things. Great, good job. And yeah, actually completing the major arena gives me the final points I need to move on to Tier 5. This is incredibly exciting because Tier 5 unlocks a lot for the account. Not only does it allow me to equip an extra relic, which allows me to play around more with set effects than I have been already, I also get a 12 times experience multiplier now, which is literally a 50% experience increase. So at this point, I'm a lot more comfortable doing some more skilling grinds in the near future. During the leagues, I find 12 times experience to be about sufficient to get up towards most of the high-level skilling grinds you'll need for tasks. And of course, this wasn't the case at the time, this has been changed since, but Last Recall actually used 5 slots, so I was incredibly excited about unlocking Last Recall as well. Now that it uses 4, it's a little bit more viable to get sooner, or even use with other set effects, but at the time, I had officially unlocked it, and I was super excited. And that's actually where we're going to go ahead and leave off this episode today. Thank you so much for watching, and definitely let me know what you thought in the comments of the new format. I'm trying to make these videos a little less frequent but cover more ground each time, so if you enjoyed it, definitely give me a comment down below and let me know. You can expect these videos for the rest of the league, and hopefully we should still make some really good progress. I'm definitely still having a blast playing the game mode, and I hope you are too. And that said, we can't leave without thanking, of course, the members of the channel. Your support gives me so much encouragement in creating these videos, and especially huge thank you to Killer912 and Peepo Time. That's all from me for today. I'll catch you in the next one.